Hey yo, what up, family? Ooh, welcome back to the Vitalize Podcast. You're here with your friendly neighborhood host, Mr. Marcus Black, and I'm so incredibly excited, elated, ecstatic, and just happy to be in your presence today. And today is a very special episode for yours truly because we are the champions. I was gonna sing it for you. We are the champions, my friend. We are the champions, man. Shout out to the 2025-2026 iteration of the New York City Knickerbockers. I know you see it here decked out. I couldn't help myself. This is a perfect way to start this episode today. So all I got to say is one thing. If you're rocking with your boy, if you're here for the first time, trust me, it'll be worth your while. Two things I promise. I'll never bore you and I'll never waste your time. So your time is valuable to me, but just stick around. I promise you won't regret it. But listen, one thing I got to say before we even get into the episode today, and that is go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go. Go, go, go. We're the champions, man. I couldn't help myself. I'm so happy to say that. But listen to me. New York City, this is for you. This is for you. So some of you guys are joining in. Listen, I want to talk about what I want to get into today is it's halftime. It's halftime of 2026. And so that's the message today. If you started out this year with some big goals and some big dreams and some big passions, we're going to take a break, pause for the cause at halftime, take stock, make the necessary adjustments, and set you on your path, give you the inspiration and motivation to finish 2026 in the absolute greatest way possible. So that's what you got to stick around for today. But just before we get into that, I have to say, for those of you who wonder, if I am some bandwagoner, what's up, man? Shout out to Jalen Brunson, by the way. Yeah, there he is. I don't care what nobody else say. He's my GOAT. And I've been saying that from jump since the day that we signed him and everybody thought it was dumb. I was like, finally, please, somebody, anybody, help us, because it's been a long time. I am not a bandwagoner. This is not something that I just thought it was a cool story and decided to latch on. Like, well, what is a kid from born in Memphis, raised in Mississippi, like New York? There couldn't be a further team. Why not the Grizzlies? Lived in Oklahoma City 20 years. Why not the Thunder? I am very loyal. And my fandom began when I was but 5 years old in 1992. I was at home. I was in a room by myself. And it was an evening, and I was flipping through the channels, and I saw the basketball game, and I was interested in it. Really, I just thought some of the guys' hair looked cool. There was this light-skinned dude with a lot of energy. His name is John Starks. He actually is my favorite Knick of all time. Most people would assume Patrick Ewing, but John Starks is my favorite Knick of all time. And he had this high top afro, and I'm like, dang, his hair looks cool. And he was smacking his gum. I'm talking about, if y'all watched the Knicks play in the 90s, you remember John Starks smacking his gum. And if you also remember the 90s, you know everybody was a fan of the Chicago Bulls. And I'm like, I don't feel good about that. You know why I don't feel good about that? Because everybody's a fan of them. I'm not the let me jump on the bandwagon of the champion kind of guy. I want the underdog. And you wouldn't think of the city of New York as an underdog, but the Knickerbockers had not won a championship since the early 70s, which is something I've never seen. Now, of course, we had Patrick Ewing. We had these guys, John Starks. I mean, we had some guys. Anthony Mason, another one of my favorites. Oak, Big Oak, Charles Oakley. You know what I'm saying? But I remember watching those teams. I remember thinking, I want to go with the team that's not everybody's a fan of. And my favorite color of all time was blue. So I saw this team with these royal blue unis, and I'm like, dang, that looks good. And guess what my second favorite color is? Orange. Those are my two favorite colors as a kid. And so when I saw the Knicks, it was perfect. My favorite color, my second favorite color. They're underdogs. They're not the team everybody's rooting for. They were gritty. They were determined. And that's when my fandom was born. And I got to see us go to the finals. And I got to see Patrick Ewing and those guys in the mid-90s fighting for it. And I got to watch us in the finals again in 99 against the Spurs. And that series ended in tears. I remember thinking like that was Duncan just got in the league. I'm like, who is this guy? I mean, he's not even that good. We can beat them. Yeah, we did not indeed beat them. We lost very badly. And then after that, we went through some of the worst years of sports fandom possible. And I'm not even gonna go through the trouble of naming all the guys we had on the team. All I will tell you, we had more than one season where we won less than 20 games. There's 82 games in a season. Less than 20 is absurd. Like, especially when teams have players get hurt, teams have players sit out. Like, that is absurd. But we had multiple seasons. We had a lot of seasons of being the worst team in the league, not getting the first draft pick. So that's why I mean so much. If you see a bunch of New York Knickerbocker fans super emotional online and crying and shedding tears, matter of fact, a funny story for you before I get into the message of the day. It was, matter of fact, no, I'm not going to tell that story right now. I'm going to tell it as I get into where we're going. I'm going to save it. That means you got to stick around because I promise you, you don't want to miss the end of that story. But yeah, it means a lot to me. It's been fun to celebrate the championship, but this team has taught me a couple of things that I really want to share that I believe will help you today. This team developed a character and a chemistry that literally led them to success. So the first thing I want to highlight and that I want to give to you before I get into this halftime message is who's in your circle? Who's in the trenches with you? Who is on the journey with you that's going to help you succeed? Because I've seen us have some of the greatest players, but it wasn't the right combination of players in order to get us over the hump. But this team consisted of three guys who literally played together in college. They were teammates for multiple years in college, won a championship together in college, and they all made sacrifices in order to bring this team together. It also consisted of other winners, guys who come from other winning cultures who were superstar roles who had to come in and take a lesser role in order to be a part of what we were building. What it means is everybody could not allow their ego to get in the way, and they had to have the mentality of we over me. We over me. And sometimes the reason you may not have gotten as far as you want to get is because you don't have a mentality of we over me. You have the mentality of, man, forget what they talking about. Like, it's all about me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to focus on me. I'm going to make sure I get mine. And I'm not telling you not to advocate for yourself and take care of yourself, but what I'm telling you is relationships are important. Who's in your circle matters. Who are you journeying with? Who's going on a journey with you? Who's in the trenches fighting with you and for you? Who's there, who's gonna, when the rubber meets the road and when your back is against the wall, their back is against the wall, you can count on them to show up and you to show up and you to make something shake. That was one of the most beautiful things I got to see from this team, and resilience. Resilience is the ability to show up despite any circumstance, good, bad, ugly, or indifferent, and to perform in the face of adversity and to overcome and rise above that adversity. This is resilience, perseverance. That's what we're talking about. And that's important for you. If you're going to have success, you got to have resilience. So I talk about resilience, and that's a perfect segue to get into this halftime conversation. So when I talk about halftime, I want you to think we are literally mid-year right now. We're in the middle of that, smack dab in the middle. So now it's time for you to ask yourself, how did the top of the year go? How did the first month go? How did the first quarter go? How did the second quarter go? Cumulatively, how did my first half of my year go? Did it go the way that I saw it going? Did it go the way that I wanted? Were there setbacks? Were there things that were outside of my control that happened? Good things, bad things, ugly things. Take stock, put it on paper. What is happening in your life, in the world around you? Okay, cool. Now that you have gotten this assessment, where are we going? What do I want to be in December? Because some of y'all already threw the year away in February. Some of y'all lasted a little longer. You threw it away in May. Some of y'all lasted a little longer. Now you're here and you're like, you know what? What am I even trying for? What am I fighting for? I might as well just throw the whole plan away, start fresh next year, party it up, have a great time on the holidays. Holiday season is approaching. You know, it's like a couple of holidays at the top of the year. You know, you got New Year's, you got Valentine's, and then you have St. Patty's. After that, you know, you got Easter. But then the holidays tend to pick up in the fall. It's like really from August all the way till December is one big, mega, major holiday season. Matter of fact, in July, they already putting up Christmas stuff. Ain't that crazy? Like, I'm like, all right, bro, we just gonna bypass all the necessary holidays. You know what I'm saying? We ain't worried about none of that. Christmas. Anywho, you get what I'm saying, though. Some of y'all is already throwing the year away and you ready to go into coast mode and holiday and festivities and turkey and dressing and pumpkin spice, everything nice. And that's what you're ready to live. But I'm here to challenge you because it's not over till the whistle blows. It's not over until the whistle blows, and the whistle will not blow until the clock strikes midnight on December 31st. So this is why I'm coming to you right now to be a wake-up call, and that's why it's fitting for me to use this team as the ultimate example right now for what it is that we're about to build. So this team is known for stealing teams' hearts by coming back from unimaginable deficits. Not this season, but last season. Before the Thunder went on to reign victorious and bring glory to the city of Oklahoma City, a city I call home for so long. Before that, the heavy favorite to win the championship was the Boston Celtics because they were coming off a championship. They had two incredible superstars, a great supporting cast role, and they were just doing what they were supposed to do, taking care of business, and they ran up against my New York City Knickerbockers, and we were down in game one of that series by 22 points. Down over 20 points, and we literally scratch, clawed. In the second half, scratch, claw, come back, fight back, and we win against all odds. That was game one. Game two, it's like the same script. We fall behind. We trying to play catch up. They are clicking on all cylinders. We're fighting, scratching in the second half, trying to fight back. We win that game. We steal 2 games from them. And that was last season. Fast forward to this season. We're in the Eastern Conference Finals. Game 1 against the Cleveland Cavaliers. We've been off for a lot of days. We come out super rusty. They just coming off an emotional victory, but they come in shooting hot on some heaters. You don't have to be a sports fan to pick up what I'm putting down, by the way, to know that if your team is down by any points, it's not good. If your team is down by 10 points, that's a stretch. It's tough, but it's doable. You see it a lot. If your team is down 20 points, a lot of times teams will just say, you know what, forget it. It's not our night, mail it in, especially if we're talking in the second half. And if you're down 20 points in the first quarter, that's one thing. If you're down 20 points in the second half, in the third quarter, maybe it's time to start thinking about resting our starters. If you are down 20 points in the fourth quarter, a lot of teams say, nah, it's not worth it. Somebody get hurt. Sit down. We'll try again next game. And I watched us play the Cleveland Cavaliers. We're in the fourth quarter. We are down by 22 points with 7.5 minutes to go in the game. 22. I sat and watched, and I'm not going to lie. Even me, Mr. Because You Can, was sitting here thinking, I don't know in this situation. I don't know if they can. But guess what? Not only could they did. They did. And they came back against all odds and forced overtime, and we won that game by 10 points. A game that we were down by 22, literally, with 7.5 minutes to go. That's insane. That's absurd. But what did I just tell you? It's not over till it's over. This year's not over until the clock strikes 00 on December 31st. It ain't over till it's over. So it's not over right now. So some of you getting ready to throw in the towel and you feel like, man, it's getting late. It's only halftime. You got a whole, as long as it took for the beginning of your year to go awry and put you in the position you're in now is the exact same amount of time you have for things to get right and go right in the second half of the year. What are we talking about? It's not over till it's over. This team taught us that. And that means something to me, and it should mean something to you because it should challenge your belief. It should let you know what's possible. Feel me. So we come back. After that, it's not even close. We literally trounce Cleveland, send them home. No disrespect to fans of the Cavaliers. Shout out to y'all. But it wasn't enough. They didn't have enough. And then I heard from everybody I know, I hope you enjoyed this while it lasted. Because I don't care if it's the Spurs or the Thunder, you will be going home expeditiously. Your team will not win a championship. You will not see it. You will not sit on your podcast and celebrate and enjoy every moment. You will not spend 3 weeks, hours on hours per day, watching every possible video of every media pundit talking about glorious things and the glory restored to the city. You will not sit on your couch in your living room wishing you were with the millions in the alley in the where the heroes gather, you know what I'm saying? In that alley in New York City for the parade. You will not. You're gonna watch it from your living room. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna be in tears being able to watch this because it's not gonna happen. You're gonna hang it up. It's over. It'll never happen in your dreams, buddy. Too much. I'm like, yeah, but do you see the run we just had? It doesn't matter. You didn't play nobody. I'm like, well, it don't matter who we play. Last time I checked, we play who's in front of us. But a win is a win. And when you beating people by 30 and 40 a night, I think that means something. So we might not be 40 points better than the Western Conference team, but we can be 1 point better than them, and that's all that matters. And so the finals come. Spurs get an emotional Game 7 victory over the Thunder, and they celebrate like they won the World Cup. Shout out to the World Cup participants, by the way. And I get it, because the Thunder was the insurmountable task for them. Told that they didn't have enough. The Thunder were far superior to them. And, just my opinion. Nobody pays me to talk sports. Maybe they will one day. Who knows? But I think that's a true statement. I don't think they had enough to beat the Thunder at 100%. I think if the Thunder were fully healthy, I don't think the Spurs make it to the finals. But we'll never know because they weren't fully healthy. That's just my opinion. It took 7 games when they were Thunder were probably 79% healthy. So I guess people say everybody has injuries at this point, but, all that's debatable. We'll never know. But what I do know is the Spurs came out and everybody said, oh, there's 0% chance. This Knicks team has no chance. And Spurs got home court advantage. Yeah, I said Knicks in 6. I don't care what they say. Knicks in 6. That's how I thought it was going to go. And game 1, we went to San Antonio. And in game 1, we found ourselves down again. This team is down at the beginning. In the first quarter, we go down by 10 immediately. We're getting down in this game by 15, 17, 18. I'm like, oh my goodness, what is with this team, bro? And then in the second half, halftime comes. When halftime comes, we come back out with a different energy. We walk them down. We fight tooth and nail. We scratch. We claw. We keep digging. We keep going. We keep going. We keep persevering. We come out victorious in game 1. I'm sitting here like, bro, we just stole game 1 on their home court. That's all that matters. Home court advantage now rests with us. We can actually do this. Fast forward a couple nights later, game 2 in San Antonio. Out the gate, they come out swinging. They heating. They shooting. Every shot is going in. I'm like, bro, what is happening? Who is this team? Why is my team? What is happening? We're not showing up. I've been watching every game of this team. Watching my man Walt Clyde Frazier on MSG Network and Mike Breen. Bang! Every night. Every game. I know what they're capable of. I'm not seeing it. What is happening? Now, some people will say the Spurs are happening. They got better defense than what you've been playing. Maybe some of that. But I also watched us miss a lot of shots we weren't missing. There's a lot of eyeballs. The world is watching. It's a really big deal. But we get down again. We get in a hole. 15, 17, 18. I'm like, bro, we are down. Again, 20 points. 22 points. I'm like, bro, what is happening with this team? Halftime comes. Adjustments happen. Conversations happen. After the adjustments happen, we come out in the second half, and what do you think happens? Some of y'all didn't even watch. Some of y'all watched this, so you reliving this with me. Some of you have no idea what I'm talking about. You ain't watched a singular game. So this is like a cliffhanger for you because you don't know where I'm going with this yet. And what happened was they came out and they fought. They scratched. They clawed, tooth and nail. They persevered, resilience in action. They came back, and we stole another game on their home floor. We won again. A game in which they had a chance to win. Some people will say should have won. And youthful errors. Wemby throws a ball into the back of a player, and next thing you know, we hit the free throw. They get a chance to win the game. They miss the shot. We win that game by 1 point. But a win is a win. Being down as many as we were in the comeback, a win is a win. We're up 2-0 in the finals. After winning two, stealing two on their home court. That's great. We are on the precipice of history. The first championship in New York City in 53 years. And I'm sitting here like, I can't believe what I'm watching. People asking me, how do I feel? I'm like, I don't feel like this is real. I feel like this is a dream. You wasn't in the trenches with us. Again, out of respect, I ain't going to call names. But you wasn't in the trenches with us when we won 19 games. Mitchell Robinson was, though. Shout out to Mitchell Robinson. Because he was there. He's seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I'm like, this doesn't feel real. I never dreamed I would see my team back in this place because it was so bad for so long. And, all these guys want to ridicule the Knicks and KD. Nobody wants to go to the Knicks. It's the Knicks, bro. Who cares about the Knicks? This ain't the 70s. That's what he's saying. I'm like, hey, listen, I'm riding with my guys. I don't care till the wheels fall off. I don't care if we win it or not. I'm riding. So you keep fast forwarding. We go back to New York City now, game 3. Game 3 was a tough battle, back and forth, just like the others. Spurs wound up pulling that one out. It was close to the end. We got down big again. We fought back. That time, it wasn't enough. They still won. And now I'm thinking, people are like, oh, it's okay. No big deal. You just got to win the next one. Because if you let them take 2 on your home court, now they have even the series and now they got the advantage back. So it all comes down, and this is really the heart of this message right here for the next few minutes. It comes down to a pivotal game 4. Game 4 in New York City in Madison Square Garden on Wednesday night. I was nervous as a chicken. You would have thought I was about to play in the NBA Finals. Like an hour before tip-off, I was jittery. I was shaky. I said, oh, boy, I don't know. Yeah, I'm shaking now, just taking myself back to that place. And I'm hopeful, though. I'm like, we're going to come back out this time. We're going to start faster this time. We're not going to keep getting down in these big deficits. We're just not. You can't keep digging yourself in a hole and digging yourself out. And that's what I said to myself. So the game starts. And the Spurs proceeded to shoot north of 70%. I want to say they may have been shooting 80% from 3. If you don't know what that means, that's unheard of. The average 3-point shooter in the NBA shoots about 33, 34%. The average great shooter shoots between 40 and 43, 44%. If somebody shoots 50% from 3, that is astronomical. That's 1 out of every 2 threes you shoot, you make. They were shooting north of 70%. They were making an unprecedented amount of 3-pointers, and we were not. We were shooting 34. At one point, we were shooting like 20%. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, what is happening? I'm talking about out the gate. They were up 10 within the first 2 or 3 minutes of the game. And I'm like, bro, next thing you know, the lead keeps climbing. I'm just hoping. I'm sitting there on pins and needles. The lead keeps climbing. It keeps climbing. It gets to 20. I'm like, bro, 20 points. We down again in the first half. They keep going. They keep fighting. They stretch the lead. They get it as big as 29 points, 30 points, 29 to be exact. But that's a 30-point lead in the first half. We make a couple buckets. They make a big bucket. We get to halftime. At halftime of pivotal game 4, the game that typically will rock the boat and decide the series, we are down by 27 points at halftime. People were texting me laughing like, bro, what happened to your team? They about to fumble the bag. You thought y'all was going to win. Ha ha. We told you the Spurs were better. They settled down now. Ha ha. My phone is blowing up. Especially people that know I've been a fan. There's a lot of people who see my post and think, man, this dude ain't no fan. Even though I literally posted a kid picture of me like way back in a Patrick Ewing shirt in the 90s. But it's okay. That's neither here nor there. People think the people who know me for real are getting a kick out of watching my team melt down. Now, I was not in the locker room, obviously, in Madison Square Garden. But I heard the crowd was stunned. The crowd was shook. The crowd was quiet. There was no energy in the building. Wu-Tang Clan comes out, New York, one of New York City's finest. Shout out to Wu, Enter the Wu. They came out and they did their thing at halftime and brought a little juice to the crowd. Like, hey, man, wake up. We here. But even they said after their performance, we were just in the Garden. We never heard the Garden like that, meaning that quiet. People were kind of dejected. 27 at the half, it's gut check time. And that's typically where teams decide to give up. That's where teams say, you know what? It's not worth somebody getting hurt. You live to fight another day. You got 3 games left. You got to win 2. They got to win 2. Tied 2-2, series tied. It's okay. Whoever wins 2 of the next 3 is the best of the best. That's what teams typically do. You know what also happens? That's what people typically do. When people get to this place where they know that I'm too far behind on my goals. I set 10 goals for the year. I haven't accomplished 1. Why even try? I'm going to throw the whole list away and start again at the top of next year. New year, new me. Same thing. I'm too far behind. Why even go out there and try to play catch up? I'm not going to make up no ground. Nothing is going my way. I'm going to just save myself the embarrassment and throw in the towel. That's what people do. And that's what teams do. I've seen it happen. And that's what I thought the Knicks might do. But I heard a quote from Jalen Brunson in this moment. And they asked him, did it cross your mind to think to wave the white flag, throw in the towel? This isn't our night. It's not going to work out. And I wasn't sure what he would say. He's a captain. Shout out to you, captain. I got his jersey on. The captain. I'll never forget what he said. Jalen Brunson said, you are allowed to think about the worst possible result. So yeah, it crossed my mind. But you're allowed to think about the worst possible result and then show up and move past it. So that means the thought even crossed the champ's mind. But he said, you know what? I'm going to just go and do what I know to do. I'm going to go and keep doing the right things the right way and watch the tide turn. And then there's a video clip of him that has now since surfaced in the huddle with the team, heads down, sweating. He's like, hey, it's okay. It is what it is. We took a punch. We here. We've been here before. We come back for more than this. Settle down. Play ball now. Do what you know how to do. It had me ready to go to war. I said, I'll go and elbow Wimby in the hip. That's as tall as I am. I can't reach higher than that. But I'll give him an elbow to the hip. I'll Jose Alvarado him. I'll grab his ankle. Shout out to Jose, man. New York's finest. But those of you who watch the series, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, we have a guy. He's from the heart of New York City, born and raised in the projects in New York kid, grew up a Knicks fan. We traded for him at the middle of the year. He's on our team. He made some clutch plays, including in this exact game I'm talking about. But one of the things he did was Victor Wembanyama. I haven't even gotten into that because I don't want to take away from our Thunder because everybody's talking about how horrible and nasty the Spurs were and favoritism from the referees and all of the grimy, dirty, really low IQ, not good basketball plays. I'm not even going to get into that because I don't want to take away from the champions and what they accomplished. But that was happening. Jose grabbed he grabbed him by his calf at one point and kind of tried to pull him down. That was so funny because that if you don't know who Victor Wembanyama is, a kid is like legitimately 7 feet 5 inches with an 8.5 foot wingspan. It's absurd. Makes no sense. So we're in this game. We have this conversation. Captain tells the guys settle down and play ball. They start scratching and clawing back. They didn't make some drastic 20-0 run. They made an 8-0 run. They're cutting that lead down. We cut it from 27 to 20. We got it from that to 19. We got it down to 15. I started getting hope because it's like midway through the third quarter. Like, wait, it's 15. Here we go. But then it goes back to 18, and then we get it back to 15, and it goes back to 20. So in the fourth quarter, we're down 20 again, and I'm thinking like, man, we fought back, but 30 is just too much. I'm thinking, me, Mr. Because You Can, is thinking 30 is too much. You know who never thought 30 was too much? The champions. The champions never thought 30 was too much. So even though they were down 20 in the fourth again, because the Spurs, I said, they're not going to let us steal this game from them. And then what proceeded to happen is something that literally is out of a storybook. And I still can't put into words what I witnessed. The literal greatest comeback in NBA Finals history. 29 points. No team has ever faced a deficit so big and fought back and come back to win that game. And against all odds, we come back, we fight back, we scratch, we claw, we scratch, we claw. They did what I've just told you they've been doing for 2 seasons that they have done so many times. They've been down 20 points. I don't think any team in NBA history has more 20-point comeback wins than the Knicks because they are a team that never says die, never say never. They don't quit, they don't fold, they don't give up. It's not in the DNA of the champion. And so if you are going to be the champion of this year, if you're going to be the champion in your family, if you're going to be the champion as a husband, as a wife, as a father, as a mother, as a friend, as a CEO, as an entrepreneur, as an executive director of a nonprofit, of a leader in the company, a professional, whatever it is, a community leader, an activist, whatever it is that you choose to do, if you're going to be the champion, you cannot relent ever. You must be relentless. You must keep believing against all odds. You got to keep scratching. You got to keep clawing. You must keep fighting. And that's exactly what this team did. After halftime, they regrouped, they edited, they did what they've done so many times, and they fought. They scratched, they clawed. And next thing you know, we're down by 1 point. With like a minute to go, just over a minute. Jalen Brunson, the captain, does what he does, gets a bucket. We go up by 1 point. They get the ball. They don't score the bucket, but Castle gets fouled. He makes 2 free throws. They're up by 1. We got the ball for a chance. We don't get a good shot. Brunson misses the shot. Cat tries to tip it in. It's a penalty. We don't have enough time. We don't get the shot up. But no, it's not a penalty. It gets tipped in real time, back out. De'Aaron Fox chases it down. Fastest player in the NBA, lightning fast. Runs, gets the ball. Debatable what he should have done or shouldn't have done. A lot of people say just dribble it out, get fouled in the game. That's what a lot of people would say. I get his logic because I've heard a lot of NBA players say, you guys don't understand. He's reverting to his level of training in his mind. He's made that play thousands of times in his career. Nobody can catch him. He has the name the Fox because he's the quickest and fastest player in the NBA. So in his mind, I'm either going to get this layup or I'm going to get fouled. We're going to go up 3, game over. I'm going to end it right here. Dribble it out. We don't get the inbound passing. Anything can happen. So you can debate what he should have or should not have done. He did what he thought was best to do. OG Anunoby comes out of nowhere with a LeBron chase down for generations. Slaps the ball. Blocks it. We get the ball back. We head back up the court. My heart's beating fast as I talk about it. Jose Alvarado crosses half court. It's frantic. It's chaos. He almost steps back court. Whistle blows. I still don't know if it was a foul or a timeout. I think they had a foul to give, and they were trying to stop us from getting an easy layup for the game winner. I think they fouled him. But it also, some people say timeout. I don't know. My emotions were all over the place, and I was literally about to have a meltdown because, yeah, the sequence was bananas. So now we got a few seconds, like 7 to be exact, to get the ball in, get a shot. OG Anunoby gets the ball in to Jalen Brunson, catch, dribble, near half court, takes the deepest 3, and it looks good. I'm holding my breath. All of New York City's holding their breath. Every person in Madison Square Garden is holding their breath. The ball hits the front iron of the rim. The ball bounces off the rim, and my heart begins to sink. And out of nowhere, OG Anunoby comes skywalking, and his hand literally, like out of the hand of God, must have been guiding him to not over pursue it, to not go too hard, to not, 1,000,001 things could have went wrong in that moment, but his fingers tipped it at the right trajectory. The ball goes through the hoop with 1 second left. The Madison Square Garden is literally shaking. It is earthquake status. This is how loud it is. And I am sitting here about like 1 second away from literally like just crying like a baby, fetal position. You think I'm joking? I am not joking. You want to know how I'm not joking? Because remember that story I told y'all about at the beginning? If you made it to this point, we got 1 second left. They got the ball, a chance to win the game. Only down by one. They only need 1 point to win this game. And they inbound the ball. They run an inbound set play. They run a play. Everybody, the whole world thinks Wembenyama's going to get this ball and shoot it. I thought that as well. He indeed did not get the ball. Stephon Castle runs a pick play. He has a wide open layup to win the game. Dylan Harper throws the lob for the win. Karl Anthony Towns tips, his fingertip grazes the ball, changes the trajectory of the ball. We take it away because Castle bobbles it. Josh Hart takes it. We complete the greatest comeback in NBA Finals history. And the only thing I could think to do was sob uncontrollably. I mean, when I say sob, I'm like I went to my wife who was in the bedroom and I just hugged her and I held her and I laid in her arms. And she said, "I'm so sorry." And I said, "We won." We won. Like, I'm talking like I'm boo-hooing. And she's like, "It's okay, babe. It's okay, babe." But the emotion that I felt in that moment was the greatest triumph I could ever imagine. Literally, other than my wedding day and the day my two sons were born. So 3 days, that was the fourth happiest day of my entire 40 years of life. And I know New York Knicks fans feel me. And I literally was just laying in her arms crying. And it was just a triumph. I watched a team against all odds do the impossible. Now, why did I just tell you all of that story? Because I want you to take this team, let this team be the catalyst for you. This is halftime. We watched them lay the blueprint for what happens at halftime. You go, you strategize, you get clear, figure out what went wrong, figure out what you need to adjust, pivot. But when this second half starts, I need you to be relentless. I need you to commit. Say, "I commit." Say, "I commit." Matter of fact, on my post, say, "I commit." If you see this clip, say, "I commit." Wherever you hear this, if you're listening to it in the car, text me if you got my number. Whatever, wherever, whenever, however, say, "I commit." Because you should commit. I want you to commit. And if you commit, things will change. But only if you are relentless. You got to be relentless in your pursuit of your passion. The second half, all things are possible. All things are possible. And I'm not just saying that. I watched. That's why I was in such an emotional state that night, because something that seemed impossible, deemed impossible, that was said to be impossible became possible because I watched it play out in real time. And what I'm telling you is the same way in your life, nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. You believe in God and you know who the source of your strength is. You know God is fighting for you. Then all you got to do is show up to the battlefield and give what you got. Give your energy. Give your voice. Maximize your time. Maximize your potential. Give every ounce of you, every waking moment of your time dedicated to making the rest of your year the best of your year, much better than the first of your year, because you can if you're willing to do that. If you're willing to make the adjustment and never quit, let the spirit of the team infiltrate your mind and your heart. Hey, if they can do it, I can too. If they can adjust their halftime and against all odds be down an insurmountable amount, they got the biggest uphill battle, but they climb that hill step by step by step by step, walking down every single goal they set for themselves to emerge victorious as a champion. You got the ability to do the same, but the only way it's going to happen is if you take the step, if you keep grinding, if you keep fighting, if you keep pushing, keep taking one step, and most importantly, don't stop believing. Don't stop believing. That belief will, even when nobody else believes, well, they don't believe, they see I got too many setbacks, I got too many deficits, I have too many holes in my plan, so they don't believe. I don't care if they don't believe. The arena didn't believe, fans didn't believe that team was going to make an insurmountable, improbable, impossible, some would say, comeback. But they did because they didn't stop believing. They kept believing in each other. They kept believing in the work. They kept believing in their discipline, in their practice, in their execution. They kept believing. You got to keep believing. It's not a game, family. This is your life. That's a game. Shout out to them for winning the game, but that game is a microcosm of the life that you live. What you want is in front of you, but you got to go get it. Halftime is now. Your coach, me, is telling you to get up, get out, and go do it, and you do it because you can. I mean, you go build whatever it is you need to build. You reach out to whoever it is you need to reach out to. You organize whatever you need to organize. You take whatever step you need to take. You walk down every single goal, and you go make your dream the reality and go win, and you do it big. Cause you can. Vitalize.